That rush of work we experience while it's still dark, going to school, getting things done, passing exams, thinking about what to cook, all these struggles we go through there throughout the day remind me of how we are actually a part of nature. Of course, there are no such struggles in nature, but life is like a triceratops trying not to miss the first light of the morning to feed itself, but at the same time being on guard against T-Rexes at all times. Because there are no weekends in nature. Since we understand the value of life, we try to shape our lives accordingly. Even though we sometimes fail, like dinosaurs for example, if we went back to the time they lived in and said, look, tens of millions of years later, you will be very popular, they probably wouldn't believe us. I don't think even Einstein will be remembered this much, but there would be something else they wouldn't believe, that an asteroid falling from the sky would wipe them out, because they were not intelligent creatures like us. Moreover, we have seen this movie before, but as that movie points out, some of us still think like dinosaurs. It looks like an asteroid impact wiped out the dinosaurs from the face of the Earth. However, the details of this have begun to emerge with some newly published scientific studies. In fact, the idea that it was an asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs emerged in the 80s, when we didn't even know about a crater. We could only explain such a mass extinction with such a great disaster, but this should have left a crater behind, a trace. But no one was aware of such a huge crater. Or did the asteroid explode in the sky? Or had thousands of smaller ones fallen everywhere? Perhaps the extinction was caused by a virus and was carried everywhere by air currents. But then we found the crater. This is it. By the way, when searched on Google, an asteroid passes through the screen and make it tremble. Go ahead and try it. This huge impact crater, located in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, brought the end of the dinosaurs. But not all dinosaurs were wiped out by that impact. Some managed to survive. Were these just the lucky ones in the race for life? Or did they have an advantage? Could nature have prepared them beforehand for a disaster they had never experienced yet? How did the survivors survive? Let's first look at what we know about this. 66 million years ago, an asteroid larger than the Mount Everest hit Earth. We know this. The intensity of the impact was so great that an energy equivalent to 1 billion nuclear bombs was suddenly released. The sky was so bright that the sun was pale compared to it. The resulting heat glowed like a fireball in the sky. It was not possible to see anything. In a very short time, they felt an increasing warmth on their skin. Then everything within a 1,500-kilometer, 932 miles radius was roasted to destruction by this radiation. The shock waves spreading at the speed of sound had not even reached them yet. This collision, which created a crater 25 kilometers/15, 5 miles deep and 100 kilometers/63 miles wide, was so violent that the reaction force created by the compressed crust of the Earth formed a mountain 10 kilometers, 808 feet high. On the other hand, some pieces flying out of the broken crust flew into space at tremendous speeds. Some of these went on to fall from the sky to various parts of the Earth. The severity of the collision was felt even from the other end of the Earth and caused earthquakes of up to magnitude 11. While the shock wave shattered everything in front of it, tsunami waves reaching a distance of 1 kilometer/3,280 feet began to spread as if they were cleaning up the place. The dust cloud, thousands of kilometers, miles in size, spread and spread and spread all over the Earth. This collision wiped out almost all the dinosaurs. Almost all dinosaurs. For example, this chicken did not disappear. So of course their ancestors were not like this chicken's back then. But because its ancestors survived, this chicken exists today, and it keeps a very important place in the lives of most of us. Whereas 2/3 of life on Earth did disappear. This was not the first, second, or third, but fifth mass extinction that the Earth has experienced. If these species had not become extinct, perhaps we would know completely different creatures today. Perhaps we would never exist. So how did these species that survived, even if only a little, manage to do this? I don't believe in luck. The only secret to success is to work hard. To understand this, we must go back to those times. I mean, not by telling it like that. We need something from those moments. New scientific studies shed light on exactly this process. This is the Demise fossil site. It is located in the American state of North Dakota, about 3,000 kilometers, 1,864 miles from the point of impact. Many dinosaur fossils were unearthed from here, but it's not just a dinosaur graveyard. At the same time, it is thought that some of the ruins here remain from that exact moment during the impact. And of course, for this reason, it has a very special importance for experts. This asteroid idea put forward in the 1980s is generally accepted. In fact, these are the people who came up with this idea. On the left is Luis Walter Alvarez, a Nobel laureate. On the right is his son Walter. There have been some developments since these two people came up with the asteroid idea. The majority said they were okay with this idea. It must have happened like this, but it was necessary to detail it. Could the dust scattered from the collision have covered the Earth for a long time, causing plants to be unable to photosynthesis due to lack of sunlight and to die? In this case, the creatures that feed on plants would also disappear, and the hunters who hunt them would also disappear. When the lower level of the food chain disappeared, the others must also disappear over time. It's very plausible when you think about it. But this is just an idea, just a thought. We need evidence. First of all, how long can these dust particles remain in the atmosphere before falling to the ground? For example, if they are so heavy and large that the sky will clear after just a few days, this is not a very clear idea because many plants can overcome this. But if they stay in the sky for months or up to years, that could be a pretty good explanation. Well, how can we find these particles? Think about it. Yes, you guessed it right, from the Tanis fossil site. Here, my friends, the latest studies shed light on the mystery of this extinction. Not only that, it draws attention to yet another detail. The cause may also be sulfur rather than just particles, because particles may not remain in the atmosphere long enough due to their size. Think about it. All these effects bring with them severe storms and rains too. Therefore, the particles that can cover the sky for a long time must be of a special kind. And it was in this very area that the particular particles were detected. It is thought that these dust particles, approximately 0.8 to 8 micrometers in size, may have covered the sky for 15 years, causing a catastrophic collapse. As a result of the analysis, it was shown that the material scattered into the sky from the asteroid was 75% dust, 24% sulfur, and 1% soot. Of course, although these help us understand the process better, there are still many questions that need to be answered. This is not the first disaster to happen to the world, nor is it the last. Look, think about all the creatures that have ever lived in this world. Yeah, 99% of them are extinct, and a very small part of the 1% who are successful are making this video today. Really? How did they succeed? Some of the birds survived because they could fly, which was a great chance for such a disaster. Unfortunately, we don't have wings, but we can fly too because we have this. This is something that can make you either fly or sink. It can either save you from mass extinction or drag you into mass extinction. If we are so curious about dinosaurs, the past and history today, it is because we can understand the value of life. The information we obtain today from many different species extends our lifespan, improves its quality, and enables us to save other species. When we use this correctly, we give birth to life. But destruction only takes us back to the ground zero.